In the headlines, 2 dead, 3 injured as building collapses in Lagos. Nigerian army says killers of Yobe Sheikh will face military and civil law. National Association of Resident Doctors extends ultimatum for another 2 weeks to resolve lingering industrial and welfare issues. Away from Nigeria, Kenya's defeated presidential candidate Raila Odinga files court petition against election result. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thank you for joining. And now the details. 2 children were reported dead while 3 adults sustained injuries when a building at Adeleye Street, Bariga, Lagos State collapsed on Sunday. The Permanent Secretary, Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, Olufemi Oke-Osanyintolu, said that the agency, upon arrival at the incident scene, discovered that the tank scaffolding of a 2-story building collapsed on a bungalow beside it and affected 2 rooms. The Nigerian army has said that the 2 soldiers arrested by the Nigerian police over the murder of an Islamic cleric, Sheikh Goni Gashua, will face the full wrath of both military and civil laws. The decision of the Nigerian army was revealed in a statement on Sunday by the Assistant Director, Army Public Relations, Operation Hardin K, Captain Kennedy Anyao. Captain Anyao said that the army was cooperating with the Yobe State Police Command to unravel the identity of the suspected soldiers. The army has also instituted a board of inquiry to unravel the circumstances surrounding the unfortunate incident, at the end of which the soldiers will be made to face the full wrath of both military and civil laws. Captain Anyao described the incident as highly regrettable, given the sector's disposition and zero tolerance for violation of code of conduct and the rules of engagement for troops. The Adamawa State Police Command has arrested a 25-year-old man who allegedly murdered 2 of his children, aged 3 and 5, in Himikidu community, Michika local government area of Adamawa State. Police Public Relations Officer Suleiman Ngoroje, in a statement, said that the suspect, Elisha Tari, a resident of Himikidu, Michika local government area, was said to have killed the victims with stones and sticks which he had used in hitting them on their heads severally. The statement added that the incident was reported at the Divisional Police Headquarters by the grandfather of the victims. Ngoroje said that preliminary investigation reveals that the victim's mother got separated from the suspect 2 months ago after they had a misunderstanding. Staying with security matters, police in Zamfara State say that they have rescued 2 kidnapped female victims after they have spent 3 weeks in bandits' captivity. The Command Public Relations Officer, Superintendent Mohammed Shehu, said the hostages were rescued following an intelligence report on 20th of August, while operatives of the Zamfara State Police Command on confidence-building patrol along Inya Mango in Bungudu local government area. The 2 victims, Ubaida Hassan, a 12-year-old, and Umaima Jamilu, a 10-year-old, of Gidan Liman village in Kekung Waje district of Bungudu local government area of Zamfara State, were abducted by terrorists on the 15th of July following the attack on the affected village. The 2 victims, who were rescued unhurt and later medically checked at General Hospital Bungudu and thereafter debriefed by the police and handed over to their families. Meanwhile, Deputy Governor of Zamfara State, Hassan Nasiha, says that the notorious bandits leader, Bello Turji, has embraced the peace initiative and stopped attacking innocent citizens in Birnin Magaji, Shinkafi, and Zurmi local government areas of the state. Nasiha disclosed this at a conference on security in Gusau, the state capital, organized by Students' Union of Medina University.
For a state deputy governor, the singular action of Bello Turji is bringing about relative peace in the 3 local councils, which were hitherto the front line of banditry in Zamfara State, northwest Nigeria. Senator Nasia noted that for the past 5 weeks, there has not been any reported clash between the Fulanis and Hausas in Brindin Magaji, Shinkafi, and Zurmi local government areas of the state as a result of dialogue to broker peace between the 2 warring factions in the state. Several wars were fought, but that did not stop the parties involved from dialogue to resolve their differences through peace deal. It is in the light of this that Governor Muhammad Bello thought it is necessary to use both kinetic and non-kinetic approaches to address the situation. The approach did not require a gun battle or war, using whatsoever weapons, between the bandits and the people. Instead, the governor set up a powerful committee chaired by him, the deputy governor, Hassan Nasia, to go to 14 local government areas of the state to meet with bandits in their camp to discuss with them on how to make peace. Senator Nasia said Governor Bello Muhammad has ordered that all grazing routes, lands, water for livestock and other property of the Fulani seized as a result of conflict between them and the Hausas be returned immediately to the Fulanis for peace to reign in the state. We heard you people. We will convey your concerns to the state government. We ask them to stop attacking or killing Hausa people and their communities they promised to stop. The Fulanis ask government to provide fertilizers, cool, and feed their people who have been arrested. He said the Fulanis want government to provide fertilizers, free Fulanis in correctional centers, build a school for their children to discourage them for engaging in banditry, adding that lack of education is one of the major factors that is influencing Fulani children to take to arms.
Police in Edo have killed a suspected kidnapper and rescued 4 victims in 2 different operations. Police Public Relations Officer in the state, ASP Jennifer Iwegbu, stated this on Sunday in Benin. She explained that the kidnappers dressed in military uniforms had accosted the victims traveling in a Toyota Camry car and whisked them into the forest. A victim who escaped from the kidnappers' den told the police that their whereabouts at Iyuku Forest. Police operatives then laid an ambush for the kidnappers, and in an exchange of gunfire, one of them was put down while other members of the gang escaped with various degrees of gunshot injuries. ASP Iwegbu stated that the bush combing is ongoing to arrest the fleeing gang members. Catholic Church has released the names of sisters who were abducted by some gunmen early on Sunday morning. The sisters, identified as Joannas Nwodo, Christabel Echemazu, and Librata Mba Malu, were said to belong to the Congregation of the Sisters of Jesus the Savior Generalate. A statement signed by Sister Zita Ihedoro on behalf of the congregation said that they were kidnapped on their way to early morning mass along Ihube Okigwe Road. She appealed to the abductors to release the sisters and for the government to ensure that the sisters returned to their congregation safely. And away from security, National Association of Resident Doctors says it had extended ultimatum to the federal government for another 2 weeks to resolve industrial and welfare issues. National President of the association, Dr. Dare Ishaya, announced this in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, after an extraordinary National Executive Council meeting of the association. The previous ultimatum given will elapse on Monday. The association said that the federal government's effort and a show of goodwill for the association are the reasons for the extension.
Council meeting observed with great concern that despite our 2 weeks ultimatum, The condition of our members in various state government hospitals have remained unchanged, where members are owed 24 months in salary arrears in the case of Abia, 13 months in the case of Ekiti, 10 months in the case of Imo, and 5 months in the case of Ondo in salary arrears respectively.
A renowned civil rights activist in Osun State, Comrade Ayodeji Ologun, has faulted the no-work, no-pay policy that the federal government wants to apply on striking university lecturers. He described the position of the Minister of Education, Adamu Adamu, as insensitive. The activist and 2 lecturers in separate interviews with Trust TV's Hamid Oegbade in Oshogbo justified the payment of the salary of lecturers for the period of the ASUU strike.
I think it is very insensitive on the part of government to insist that lecturers will not be paid salary for the number of months that they've been on strike. Number one, it negates the labor law. There's no law in the country as we speak, either in the industrial court or in the recognized labor law, that says that people should not go on strike and that when they go on strike they should not be paid. That's number one. Number two, it is also a common knowledge that lecturers do beyond just lecturing. As they are on strike now, lecturers go to their offices to do researches, they still carry out community services, some of them write papers, they write articles, they contribute to journals.
As we are on strike now, we are embarking on a series of research that will generate invention that can move the nation forward. And apart from that, for anybody to feel that, you know, when we are on strike, we are not working. We are working. We are doing the other 2 aspects of the work, research and community service. Not only that, the labor law stipulates that workers have the right to go on strike and the employers have no right to stop their salary, because when they are on strike, it is because government has not done the needful. If government revitalizes the universities and the polytechnics and we have facilities in the classroom, why should we not go and do our job? And I'm challenging the government. The day they provide all the facilities we require in the classroom, in the universities and the polytechnics, any lecturer that fails to go to work should be dealt with according to the law.
It's unfortunate that there are Olu thinking individuals who will not know the import of this ASUU strike, especially on the society generally. We have lost a student of Lautech Agricultural University to kidnapping now. Only God knows the number of students who have been affected like that. Ritual killing, accidents. Some of them have even been impregnated because they are not in classrooms. And of course, we say the devil, idle hand makes work for the devil. That is another angle. Government should ensure that these monies are paid and the ASUU demands are, fulfilled.
You're watching the news update on Trust Television. Coming up shortly, we'll take a look at the dangers of fake electric cables. Details and more after the break.
Which kind wire you gon' need to light up your light? Oh man, the quality wire. Now which kind cable you gon' need to light up your house? Oh man, the quality cable. Coleman quality. Coleman wire. Coleman durable. Coleman cable. Coleman tank. Coleman cable for any kind of project. Coleman be the come and see. Come and be the Coleman won't light up your light. Come and be the come and see. Come and be the COLEMA. Quality. Durable. Oh yeah. Now come and be the Baba.
Thanks for staying. You're watching the news update on Trust Television. Here's a recap of our top stories. 2 dead, 3 injured as building collapses in Lagos. Nigerian Army says killers of Yobe Sheikh will face military and civil law. In other news, Governor Abubakar Sani Bello of Niger State has revealed a plan to protect the interest of the Fulani herders in the 2023 budget by providing necessary facilities that will boost their activities in the state. Speaking at the APC Critical Stakeholders meeting in Kwantagora local government area, the governor said it is necessary to allow herders to have a sense of belonging as citizens in the state. He said herders, like other citizens, deserved fair treatment to enable them freely go about their activities. He said adequate measures had been taken to arrest the security challenges in the state, saying that the strategies being adopted will not be disclosed due to the activities of informants in the communities. He appealed to the federal government to rehabilitate the dilapidated Mina Kontagora Federal Road to ease motorist movement and boost economic activities in the area. Operatives of the NDLEA have intercepted over 2.3 million tablets of illicit pharmaceutical opioids and other psychoactive substances meant for distribution in 7 northern states. The illicit drug, which was heading to Borno, Kano, Kaduna, Sokoto, Zamfara, Gombe, and Nasarawa, were intercepted in series of operations in the past week. Here is more on the agency's operations in the last 1 week.
In all, a total of 2,325,553 tablets and capsules of tramadol, Brengabalin, Hypnox, Diazepam, and Exol-5, including 7,353 bottles of a new psychoactive substance locally called Akuskura, meant for 7 states, were seized from locations across Kaduna, Kogi, Sokoto, and the Federal Capital Territory. In Kaduna, drug dealer Umar Sanusi was arrested on Friday, 12 August, during a follow-up operation in Kano and brought back to Kaduna, where his consignment of 50 cartons of Pregabalin 300 mg containing 750,000 capsules weighing 375 kilograms earlier seized along Abuja-Kaduna Expressway was counted and weighed in his presence. Same day, operators also intercepted along Abuja-Kaduna Express Road 7,068 bottles of the new dangerous substance of abuse called Akuskura, meant for Kaduna, Zamfara, Gombe, Kano, and Borno. In Kogi, no fewer than 696,000 tablets of tramadol and Exol-5, among others, loaded into a truck at Onitsha, Anambra State, and heading to Maiduguri, Borno State, were seized along Okene-Abuja Expressway on Friday, 19 August, while NDLEA operators also recovered 300,000 tablets of diazepam from a suspect, Farouk Bello, in Sokoto State on Wednesday, 17 August. Anti-narcotic officers of the agency in Abuja equally at the weekend intercepted a bus loaded with 323,000 tablets of tramadol, 225 mg, and others at Onitsha, Anambra State, heading to Nasarawa State. A major importer of loud variant of cannabis from the United States, Abibu Afid Shola, and a 63-year-old grandfather who ships illicit substances to his daughter in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, among those arrested by NDLEA operatives at the Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos. Chairman and Chief Executive of the NDLEA, Brigadier General Muhammad Buba Marwa, retired. In a statement from the Director of Media and Advocacy of the agency, Femi Babafemi, commended the officers and the men of the Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Kaduna, Kogi, Sokoto, and FCT commands, as well as the other commands, for the arrest and seizures, and urged them to intensify their drug supply reduction and drug demand reduction efforts.
Muslims have been charged to participate actively in politics as the 2023 general elections draw near. The National Coordinator, Standard Bearers Islamic Organization, Dr. Abdul Hafiz Bello, gave the charge at a press conference in Ile-Ife on Sunday. Speaking with Trust TV's Hamid Oegbade on the sideline, Bello said Islam encouraged Muslims to be part of governance, as unanimously agreed by reputable Muslim scholars. Bello appeals to the federal government to address myriad of issues bedeviling the nation, including economic hardship and insecurity.
Our economic situation is worsening. Poverty is worsening in our country today. Inflation keeps rising. You go to the market today, by the time you go back tomorrow, what you bought yesterday for 5 naira is now 10 naira. So government needs to do something first. The aspect of diversifying our economy so that we will not be solely dependent on oil. Secondly, is also making sure that they exploit how to improve power, which we believe is one of the foundations for improving our economy.
Fake electric cable can easily ignite fire outbreak, and for this reason, the federal government has been charged to regulate the importation of fake cables to curb the menace of electrical disasters in the country. In this report, Kabir Lawal examines how important electric cables are, not just to the power supply chain, but also in ensuring safety for users and the country at large. The report.
Behind every wall at home, office, or a building in general, there are cables that channel electricity for daily consumption. It may be visible or buried in conduit pipes. These are housing cables, and they connect all electricity-powered items and sockets to the main electricity source. Often, many Nigerians make the mistake of paying little attention to the kind of cables that wire their homes. A cable is just a cable. Some may rationalize. But is it really that simple when there have been many documented incidences of blackout, electrocutions, and such incidents caused by unsafe cables? Kelechi Akuna, who decreed the rise in prices of cables in the FCT, throws more light on the types and functions and appeals to the government to step up and check the influx of cable into the country to avoid further incidents.
Their sizes vary and their works vary as well. There's the one for domestic use, there's one for industrial use. These very ones you see here are for industrial. The very smaller ones that are in smaller rolls, you use them for domestic wiring. And those ones, we stock them inside the shops.
Akuna attributed the price increase to the fall of Naira against dollars, a factor he considered as worrying.
It's a worrying situation because the prices has gone up. 3 months ago, some of them were like maybe the difference of about 300-400 naira. And we're not sure where it's going tomorrow. We're even afraid to stock because the prices has gone really beyond our control. In a layman's way, we would say it's dollar and exchange rate that caused the prices to go up, because that's what we gather. Though they are Nigerian products, but the cost of production as well is another factor.
He called on government to, as matter of urgency, wade into the adulteration in the cables industry, save lives and properties. Kabir Lawal, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Acting Chairman of the Federal Capital Territory Internal Revenue Service, Haruna Abdullahi, has called on taxpayers to desist from engaging tax advisors to doctor tax records or conceal documents. Abdullahi made the call in an interview with News Agency of Nigeria in Abuja. He warned that taxpayers found guilty of conniving with such tax advisors will be sanctioned in accordance with the law.
People are just here, living in Abuja, doing business, making tons of money, yet you are not contributing to the basket. And you are saying the infrastructure is, where do you think the administration or the leadership will get the money to fund this infrastructure? Everywhere in the world, the society, which means taxpayers, develop cities, develop countries, develop states. And I think that would continue, that should continue to happen. And that is what we are encouraging. So for me, you have a civic duty. Have you done that? Have you paid into the pool, yeah, where the administration they are now querying is not providing infrastructure, in quotes? What is your civic duty? Have you done it? Put it in the pool. Then now you can interrogate. You can now ask, when I today, wherever I am, I pay my taxes, then it is my government. And I'll interrogate that government, and I'll ask questions, and I'll request. But not, you don't pay anything, you don't add to any, you don't contribute. You allow states to find a way, or Abuja in this context, to find a way to fund this major infrastructure that you're talking about, yet you are not contributing.
And away from Nigeria, Kenya's defeated presidential candidate Raila Odinga has filed an online petition to the country's top court challenging the result of the August 9 election that handed victory to his rival, William Ruto. Daniel Manzo, who is part of Odinga's legal team, said a physical copy of the petition will be filed before the Supreme Court's deadline. Odinga, a veteran opposition leader who ran with the backing of the ruling party, has rejected the outcome of the poll, branding it a travesty after he narrowly lost to Ruto by around 230,000 votes, or less than 2% point. Since 2002, every presidential election in Kenya has triggered a dispute, with this year's outcome also causing a rift within the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission that oversaw the poll. And that's a wrap on Trust News Update. Watch more via all our social media platforms, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch live. I am Ayuba Ile. Thank you for watching.